Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to visit the oldest structure in the entire Western Hemisphere, and it's for some reason located here in North Miami Beach. The Ancient Spanish Monastery, as the name implies, was originally built in Spain. This was built between the year 1133 and 1141 AD. We're talking almost 900 years ago. It was originally called the Monastery of Our Lady, Queen of the Angels, but later renamed to Monastery of St. Bernard de Clairvaux in honor of Bernard de Clairvaux being canonized in 1174. Let's take a walk inside and actually be on the grounds. Wow, this is beautiful. So this was assembled piece by piece. Well, first let's finish the story. It spent a couple hundred years being occupied by Cistercian monks, and then eventually it was purchased by a man named William Randolph Hearst. He's a big guy in the newspaper industry. He purchased them and had them shipped from Spain in 11,000 crates, wooden crates, packed with hay, numbered so they're easy to assemble and identify when they get here. But unfortunately, when they got here to the United States, there was an outbreak of the hoof and mouth disease, which meant that the customs had to take extra precautions to prevent that disease from spreading in the United States. So they set the hay on fire. I think that led to some instructions or some numbering being lost in the process, coupled with, in the 1920s, a Great Depression impacted William Randolph Hearst. And then he just had to abandon the whole project altogether. So these wooden crates containing all the pieces to assemble this here in the United States just sat in a New York City warehouse for over 2 decades. So a year after William Randolph Hearst passed away, someone purchased it. It took 19 months and about $20 million in today's money to assemble the monastery. Time magazine at the time, in the 1950s, called it the biggest jigsaw puzzle in history. It was eventually part of the church here in Florida, where it now sits in North Miami Beach. It is just so peaceful here. It is a Friday morning. The wind is blowing, feels nice out. It's really quiet here. It's like one other family here and just me. So let's go explore the grounds now that we have a little bit of information about how this ended up here from Spain and how this was constructed in the 1100s. 1100s. Let that sink in. 1100s. We've done plenty of historical videos here of mainly South Florida. And this is technically South Florida history, but it is not originally from South Florida. So this is a change of pace here. And it's, of course, the oldest thing I have made a video about, and we'll see if one day we would have to travel abroad to get even older, but I'm pretty satisfied. The oldest structure here in the Western Hemisphere. So over here we see some candles that are $1 each, and you can pay in a variety of methods. Let me make sure I don't catch fire. And yeah, pretty much $1 each. Guess you just take one, pay, and that's it. We have a cool little water fountain here with an opening. It is just so peaceful here. So are people cremated and placed in here? Is that what this is? Because I'm seeing this was from 1931 through 1999. Oh, this is from last year. So you can see it's new. 1943 to 2022, or they just memorialized on this wall. I don't know. So I was reading inside that the actual church still remains in Spain. The two components, this area, for example, and the main area, are the pieces that were brought here and assembled. So the main church still remains in Spain. I am just so obsessed with this view right here, just looking at it from dead center and then seeing the both wings right here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so mesmerized. It's for $10. It's not a big place, really. The main sell here is obviously the history. Right through these really cool old doors is where they hold Sunday service. So you can actually come here every Sunday. They have 2 English services and 1 Spanish service. Kind of looks like a smiley face. 2 eyes there, the nose, and then smiley face. Oh, but this is so cool. Of course. You don't even have to be religious to appreciate the architecture here. They've, of course, put some vents there for air conditioning. Obviously, that wasn't there originally. So these grounds are often used for private events. Photo shoots, as you guys can see, is going on right now. You can have weddings, weddings and receptions. Anyone know what happened to this guy's head? So I think originally, this is just open space, I'm guessing. Because this was probably added as part of, making this a public attraction. And obviously, this is not original. Anyway, yeah. So I think this would have just been a big gap. Okay, coming back outside here, we have the garden. And this may look familiar to some of you. This is where, in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, Jim Carrey was wearing the tutu at the mental facility. And he was just going around here, jumping around, pretending to be a football player. This is where that scene was shot. So we are now just directly in front of it, and these little rocks that you can walk on lead to a much bigger grounds that you can take pictures, have a picnic. There's some benches there next to that water fountain, and you can just soak up the sun out here. It is very quiet, guys. It is very, for something that is so old. And ooh, what's this? Now this is nice. Check this out. Inside of this big tree, or I guess multiple trees, there's a little path you can walk through. I've never seen this before. This is so cool. I'm starting to think that I should have started my video in here. Blocks the wind. You'd probably be wondering, why is this man inside a tree? Either, I'm not sure what the figures are for how many people visit this place every year, but for something from the 1100s, I don't know if it's just me who just is fascinated by history, and especially stuff that's located within minutes of where I live. I figured, I don't know, I like it being peaceful. I'm trying to find the words. I like it being quiet and peaceful, but I also wish more people knew about this place so they could come here and appreciate the history and learn about where this place originated from. And I don't know, just putting my thoughts out there. And I guess that's why I make these videos, to bring awareness to local historical treasures. I did not even know that it just continues. It continues back here. Fortunately, this massive tree provides great shade. You can even come and take a nature walk. Wow, I didn't even know this existed. We just started walking from over there. The tree I walked through is right there. And then there's just, I guess this is where they host events. I don't know. And especially with the shade, this would be an ideal place for an event. And you get a nice breeze, especially right now. So you don't really get 100% silence because the street is just right across. Perfect timing. So right at the entrance, this is where you pay your admission to get onto the monastery grounds. They've got different artifacts. From this one, for example, is a lion fountain from circa 1200 through 1280 AD. That's incredible. This has to be one of the oldest pieces. Over here, William Randolph Hearst's collection included a knight's armor. This is from the late 1600s. Just look at that. I've never seen an armor outside of movies. They've got different things from very, very long ago. It's from 1650. And down here, St. Francis from circa 1550. And right on this side, we have a Spanish hearse from the 1600s. Just check this out. Just now noticing along the wall, these are medieval Spanish coins from 1111 through 1157 AD. Here we can see some more armor, some helmets here. Well, I just left the monastery, and that was honestly better than I expected. Some reviews were saying it's too small. It's actually not small at all. If you're talking about just like the grounds where the pieces were assembled, yeah, it's kind of small, but the history just overshadows that. And then the actual grounds of the whole property is massive. So it's obviously used as an event space for weddings, receptions and weddings, which can run you for about up to $12,000, I think is what I saw online. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please share it, like this video, subscribe. It's free and it helps support this channel. And let me know in the comments if you've ever been here or if you've ever heard about it or known that such an old structure exists just here in Miami-Dade County. It's honestly mind-blowing. Anyway, this is part of my South Florida history. Although this didn't originate in South Florida, it is here in South Florida. It's very historical, and I'm going to file it in that playlist. There's a lot of other history videos I've made in Miami Beach, downtown Miami. There's tons to look at and tons to learn. So go ahead and check that out. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the next video.